Raila Odinga has been described by the people who know him best, the Luo community, as a guamo. That simply means an enigma because you don't understand Raila Odinga. When you think that you have annihilated Raila politically, Raila will metamorphose and he becomes a different animal. Morin knows him, Kibaki understands him, Uhuru understands him even better. If there is one person who will understand, or do I say understand him even best, is William Samoei Ruto. They were together in ODM back in 2007. They formed the government together, and Ruto knows what happened in 2013 and 2017, and now they are in another field playing their games. And Raila defines the politics of our country. He enjoys support and hatred on equal measures. Recently, Raila said that he is interested in becoming the chairperson of the African Union Commission. And there was uncertainty. The people who support William Ruto said this man should go and give us space. They wanted him out of the local politics. In fact, Gachagua said that that is the only conversation they should have with Raila, how Raila is exiting the local politics. And of course, there were different opinions from the ODM and Azimio supporters. Some felt it is too early, Raila should remain behind because Kenya needs him. Ruto will really bully them economically, politically, and all ways when you look at it. And Raila has been listening to how people have been speculating quite a lot. So today, while in Homa Bay, that is Homa Bay Investment Conference where William Ruto also attended, Raila decided to respond, especially to the allegations that he might have been bought by William Ruto when they shared photos of him, Ruto, and Yoweri Kaguta Museveni meeting together in Uganda. And as this is happening, people have been wondering, because I want us to listen to Raila. People have been wondering whether the exit of Raila from the local politics would mean the end and the death of ODM as a party. And William Ruto also responded to that, not today, not this year, but in 2007 when they were working together under the umbrella of ODM. William Ruto predicted the fate and the future of ODM, and it has come to pass. And I want you to listen to both Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto.
Let me respond to some issues being raised, some fears. I'm not going anywhere. I'm around. I've been running around trying to get support for different heads of states. I was with some in Namibia just the other day. And I went to the president of Uganda after I talked to him to go and ask for his support. And then we met there with Mr. Ruto, who had also gone there, to talk about the issues they're having with oil, the G2G. He was his minister for... So after we talked about my candidature, they talked about the issue of oil among themselves. But I asked for their support, and both of them agreed that they would support me. President Museveni said he would be the one to propose me as the chair of African Union Commission. And I said, thank you very much. But I'm not going away. Addis Ababa, as Charity said, is only 2 hours away from Nairobi. I'm available. Whenever I'm called, I will answer. I'm ready to work with you people. But what is important is that we must ensure that what we set out to do is eventually achieved and accomplished.
Wale watu wanatamani ya kwamba pengine ODM itapasuka ni kama mtu ni kama mbweha. Unajua mbweha? Mbweha aliona mtu akitembea anaenda kwake. Naenda mguu, mkono inaenda juu inarudi nyuma. Sasa mbweha anafikiri hii mkono pengine itakuja ianguke. Apate. Kama ni fisi. Mkono ilianguka. Ilianguka. Akafuata mpaka yule Mungu tu akaingia kwake. Akingojea. Sasa wale wanangojea ati ODM itapasuka.
We continue with this discussion, but allow me to remind you of the 100 shillings challenge for Morin. We are running against time. Handing over this money on Friday. Just briefly, Morin is a mother of one who secured a domestic work in Lebanon and became a victim of harsh treatment from her boss, a cruel boss. She was beaten and injured. She flew back to the country. Bado hajapona. She's traumatized when he remembers what she went through. She's physically injured. She's grounded. So she can't make ends meet. And she requested the members of the channel, the members of the public, anybody who feels touched to help her. She needs to go back to the hospital, and she also needs to survive because she can't do anything. That's why I'm reaching out to you. 100 shillings challenge or anything that you have. That 50 bob that you feel cannot make a difference. If we get 100 people who give 50 bob, you know what that means, and it can really mean a big difference. So we're running against time, and I'm releasing this money on Friday. Please do something if you feel touched. For those who have contributed, I want to thank you in a very, very special way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at a few things about Raila's statement and Ruto's prediction. You know, Raila said he is there to stay. And people have been saying that Raila has been bought, and that is why they were in Uganda together. But I found out something about Raila that is very unique. You see, while the Azimio, while the Kenya Kwanza supporters are busy running around with the narrative that Ruto wants to create a job for Raila Odinga, Raila has been bought. And NTV recently aired news that it was Ruto who contacted Raila and pleaded with him to convene a meeting so that they can bury the hatchet between Ruto and Yoweri Museveni, because they fell out and they have not been seen eye to eye after Museveni complained about the oil deal, the G2G deal. But when Raila took the platform to respond, he was not full of himself, because I was expecting Raila to say it was Ruto who requested me to go and convene this meeting. But Raila knows very well that Ruto is a man who's enjoying some kind of respect, and he does not want to humiliate him. And so he simply said, I met William Ruto in Uganda. If it was a Kenya Kwanza brigade, they would have said it was Raila who requested us, it was Raila who begged us. And that is what I've always stated. The magnanimity that Raila has always exposed is one of a kind. Because come to think of it, if you are Raila, you were in his shoes, and it is true that Ruto begged you to go and plead with Museveni, what would you have done? But then, the ODM supporters have been wondering what is happening. And there have been a lot of anxiety, including leaders who I thought are in a better position to understand Raila. They don't understand him. So Raila said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay. I only went to galvanize some votes, trying to plead, or rather persuade and convince some of these East African member states so that we can have a common candidate. Now, the election of this office, the African Union chairperson, is in 2025. We are still in the year 2024, and we are in February. I think it's ending today. So we still have like 10 months to go. And so there is no hurry. And this is the message that Raila wants to put across. There is no hurry. There is no rush. There is no anxiety. And of course, there is no urgency in trying to think about who will take over Raila Odinga in Nyanza, who will take over, Azimio. Raila is stating very categorically that I'm here to stay. And in other words, in case there would be succession politics, Raila will manage it the best way possible. Because I had seen people say that it is Babu Owino, it is John Mbadi, that is in Nyanza, it is Opio and of course, they have been confusing, mentioning them so that people can get confused. Or rather, to try and allow people to know where the wind is blowing from and where the wind is blowing to. So there is no hurry. This message is also meant to Rigathi. Rigathi said that is the only conversation that they should have with Raila, that Raila should exit, local politics. And it is as if Raila is telling Rigathi, you don't have the key to open and to lock the political future of a person. Raila has got a lot of experience, compared to Rigathi Gachagua. Is trying to show Rigathi that if you thought this would be the end of it, then think twice, because I'm still here to stay. The ODM rebels who felt that this is the opportunity to start confusing the Nyanza people, they are in for a rude shock, because Raila is still here. He will play his politics. He will be a de facto leader even if he has to exit, because I understand that the AU policy demands that when you are elected, then you relinquish your position as a party leader, because you are now non-partisan and you now go global. But even in that sense, he will still become a de facto leader, and he will still enjoy immense influence in Nyanza politics and of course in ODM strongholds. And that is why I'm telling you that Raila responded to William Samoei Ruto's statements. He predicted, well, ODM will not disintegrate soon. ODM has stood the test of time. From 2007 when they were together, ODM is still strong. And that is the reason why Ruto tries to buy people like Jalango, Gideon Ochanda, all these leaders. The unfortunate thing is that when you buy these leaders, they walk alone. They are not like Liverpool, who says we'll never walk alone. They go there alone, but they don't have the supporters with them. The supporters remain with Raila Odinga. That is the difference between all the other political leaders. You can take the MPs and the governors, but the supporters will still remain with Raila Odinga. And so William Ruto was right, that if you think ODM will disintegrate, you are like that hyena that saw a man walking and he thought that the hands will fall down. He followed the man until the man vanished into his home, and he stood there waiting for the hands to fall. And I think this message should go to William Ruto himself, to the Nyanza rebels, to Rigathi Gachagua, and to all those people who feel that ODM will disintegrate. I know that should Raila exit active politics, there might be attempts to take ODM. But as I've said, it has stood the test of time, and ODM is there to stay. And I think the ODM supporters and Raila supporters are happy.